Hi, Shalom Chaverim. Did you know that everything depends on the tongue? Yes, you heard me right. On the tongue. Not the brain, not the heart. Not your biceps and not your strong legs. Everything on the tongue. There's a story told about a king of Persia who was very ill and was diagnosed in those days, in ancient times, as having some type of a sickness that could be alleviated if he were to drink the milk of a lioness. Well, that's not that difficult, you think? Or is it? How do you get close enough to a lioness to milk it? Well, the king of Persia called his advisors and his hunters, and they all said that they're capable of killing a lion, certainly even capable of trapping a lion, but to get close enough to allow a lioness to be milked is just impossible. Well, the king was getting sicker, and he was advised, why don't you consult with the great Jewish king, King Solomon, who's the wisest of all men. So he sent a beautiful delegation and a hefty gift and a request. Dear King Solomon, you are the wisest of all men. Can you help me? How do I get the milk of a lioness? King Solomon sent for his trusted advisor, a great tzaddik actually, and a very brave person. His name was Benayahu ben Yehoyada. And he said, Benayahu, I am giving you a mission to fulfill. You are to get close to a lioness and milk it. Bring back the milk to the king of Persia. And the trusted advisor listens for the next word of advice. And King Solomon says, and I am also sending along with you 10 goats. 10 goats? You might think, how is that going to help? But just listen to the story. Well, Benayahu ben Yehoyada tracks a lioness to its lair and realizes that in order to get close enough to the lioness, who had just given birth to its cubs, you have to become friendly with a lioness. What's a good way to do that? By providing nourishment and sustenance for the family. So for the first day, he came close enough to the cave until the lioness smelt him and came out bearing her fangs. And just about that time, Benayahu ben Yehoyada figured that would be close enough, I think. And he took one of the goats that had been killed and left it, and then retreated a safe distance away. And as the lioness came out to look for food, it saw the dead goat, looked around, and decided that the coast was clear. So what it did was, though the lioness had previously smelt this advisor from King Solomon, it took the goat. A couple of days later, again, the lioness needs food, and this time Benayahu ben Yehoyada goes an extra 20 feet closer to the cave. Before the lioness comes out roaring, he drops it, retreats, and from that comfortable distance watches how the lioness takes it. Now this happened every 2 days. He kept on dropping the food for the lioness, but each time he was allowed to get closer and closer, until actually when it came ready to the lioness, to number 8, the goat, he was actually within walking distance. Goat number 9, he actually put it in front of the lioness. When it came to goat number 10, the lioness trusted him enough to allow Benayahu ben Yehoyada to actually milk her. And he took the milk back with him. With a murmuring of prayer of thanksgiving to God, he retreated back to a comfortable place and was preparing on his mission to go to the king of Persia. Now there's a little catch to the story, because though he was successful, that night while he was sleeping he had the strangest dream. He dreamt how the limbs of the body were arguing. The mind said, you know, what a mind I am, how smart I am. If it wouldn't have been for my creative ideas, we would never have gotten the milk. And the heart says, who needs your brain? You need a strong heart full of courage, and besides, if I would not have been beating, you would have no life. And then the 10 fingers say, look, with all of the brain and the heart, who actually did the milking? It was me. Actually, it's because of me that we're going to be rewarded. And the feet pipe in and say, oh, really? And how are you going to get close enough? And each one of the limbs was arguing who should get the most credit. And each one demanded its honor. Until, to everyone's surprise, the tongue spoke up. Actually, gentlemen, I get the credit. I am the most powerful. And the whole body gangs up on the tongue. You don't even have a bone. You're in a dark place. What did you do? You were not courageous. You did not walk. You did not milk. You did not think. You did not pump. You weren't even involved. Huh. What right do you have to ask for a reward? And the tongue said, oh, you think I'm not important? I'm more important than all of you. And they just laughed. And with that dream, Benayahu awoke and chuckled. What a strange and odd dream. He comes traveling to the king of Persia, and already messengers had been sent. That King Solomon sent an advisor who was successful, and he comes in front of the king who's suffering, and he says, Your Majesty, I have fulfilled the mission. I bring you a gift from King Solomon. Here, please, Your Majesty, take the milk of a dog. The milk of a dog? The king's face turned red with anger. The soldiers were shocked. And as soon as the king got back his composure, he said, Guards, take this impudent person. I need the milk of a lion, and he brings me milk of a dog. And they take Benayahu to prison. They throw him to the ground, and suddenly all of the limbs begin arguing. Whose fault was that? Who said something as crazy as that? And they all gang up on the tongue. Mr. Tongue, are you nuts? The mind thought of this idea, the heart pumped, the fingers did the milking, and you ruined it all. And the tongue says, I told you I'm more important than all of you. Do you agree now that I'm more important? Oh, yes, just get us out of this fix. The tongue said, okay, I'll try. And suddenly he calls out, Guard, there's a misunderstanding. Bring me back to the king. The guard opens up the door, brings back Benayahu ben Yehoyada in front of the king of Persia. And the king says, what do you want? He says, Your Majesty, I brought you the milk of a lioness. You lie. You said it was a dog. Your Majesty, it was a slip of the tongue. In my country, a lioness is sometimes referred to a dog. And besides, there's only one way to tell. I could prove it's the milk of a lioness. Why does His Majesty not try it? Sure enough, His Majesty tried it and immediately felt it as an elixir. As he kept on taking the therapy of this milk, he got stronger and stronger until ultimately he freed the advisor, thanked him greatly, sent him back with honor. So this is a legend, but it's brought down in our tradition. And what do you think it's telling us? Well, it's obvious. Life and death is in the tongue. What you say and how you say could bring life to people, could bring death to people. We live in a world where no one goes home or leaves the home without a cell phone. People are talking non-stop. Do we ever stop and reflect, what are we saying? Do we realize the power? This story is a good reminder. Think before you speak. Speak well of people. Speak generously. Speak nicely. And when you're not sure what to say, don't say it. And indeed, if we will measure our words, without a doubt, our words will be measured and appreciated. Shabbat Shalom.